Our story today is about the bent-over woman. Isn't that an interesting way to be known? As with many women in the Bible, we will never know her name. Instead, history has named her and judged her by her appearance, by what's wrong with her. Could I have pulled that off the whole time? I don't think so. But imagine yourself for a moment in her body. You have been bent forward, unable to stand up for 18 years. You look only at the ground and at people's feet. You have not seen the sky or looked into the eyes of your neighbors for 18 long years. And think of how her back must have ached. And today is the Sabbath. You go to the synagogue to pray, as you faithfully do each week. Indeed, there is a lot of excitement at the synagogue today because this man that everyone's talking about, this Jesus, is teaching. The place is packed. You come in, late as always, to slip into the very back seat. Religious law dictated that men sat in the front of the synagogue and women sat in the back. And you make sure to be at the very back of the back because of your back. And in spite of your low profile, literally your low profile, Jesus sees you come in. He calls you to the front of the assembly and simply says, "Woman, you are free from your ailment." He then lays hands on you and miraculously you stand up. You stand to look at the face of the one who has healed you without your even asking for it. The one who has sought you out so that you might be free of the thing that has crippled you for so long. What was that line? Tell me about your life and your miracles. So what burden was it that was so heavy that this poor woman could not lift her head? Was it the death of a child or an overdose? Yesterday was Overdose Awareness Day. Many of us remembered and grieved loved ones who had died of this baffling and cunning disease of addiction. What other burdens might she have carried? What burdens do you carry? Do you carry an addiction of your own? Or a grief too overwhelming to bear? Do you carry resentment and regret and an inability to let go of the past? Do you carry the wounds of abuse and trauma? Do you carry loneliness and isolation or physical and mental disease? Or do financial worries take everything out of you and keep you defeated? Have you internalized the labels others have put on you, like that bent-over woman? Have you given up and accepted that this is what life will always be for you, heartache and suffering? Have you given up hope? This is the bent-over woman. She is every one of us who has struggled to rise above pain, the pain of oppression and low self-worth and judgment from others, the pain of not feeling good enough. She is everyone who has struggled with addictions, with suicide, illness, loss of work, loss of spouse, loss of purpose, loss of trust. She is everyone that has lived in a situation that is intolerable. Anyone who has been told you can't do this and believed it. And as she is slipping into that very back row, right where Tom Jr. is, or Bob, Jesus calls her. He cannot make eye contact with her, but he calls her in such a way that she knows he is speaking to her. And then he sets her free. And now she is able to see with a whole new set of eyes, a whole new set of lenses. Once only able to stare at the ground, only able to get an alternative view, maybe by turning her head to the side, only able to look at her own feet and the feet of others, and never into their eyes, she now sees their faces. She can see where she is going. She can see the face of God, a God who is compassionate and merciful and loves her beyond reason. Not that she didn't know this before, but it is different when the love of God enters into your very flesh and bones. You start seeing what and who Jesus sees. Those who need to be healed, those who are in bondage, those who are bent over by the weight of the world, a world that continues not to care. And the promises are real. We too can come to the feet of Jesus to be lifted up, straightened out, raised from the dead, given hope for another day. Today is the first day of September. We have a new spiritual fruit. Each month we have is that right, a fruit of the month?
Fruit of the Spirit. Fruit of the Spirit.
Every month? So that's a fruit of the month. Our loving artists have set up a new display in the back of the room. And the word and the fruit this month is humility. Humility reminds us just how lucky we are to be loved by God unconditionally, no matter what we have done or what we have said or what we have thought. Humility helps us to keep our heads down, not because we are bent over or burdened, but because it helps us see those who are bent over and burdened, and it helps us to reach out and lend a helping hand to pull someone else up. Today, I have cut my sermon a little short, so that when we come up to communion, if you would like to receive the healing oil, just raise your hand and I'll come to you. As you come up to communion, whether or not you receive oil or kneel or just simply look in the eyes of the server, know that these promises are true for you. And Jesus says the words to you. You are set free of your ailment because you are. Amen.